Hi guys, and welcome to this quick TA session on first tests. This is one of the basic sessions, and to understand the topic, I would recommend to watch the session on drawing levels first. You can find this in the quick TA playlist, basics, how to draw levels. First tests are very important in price selection, and I will show you why. Let's look at this clean chart on Bitcoin right now. As you can see, Bitcoin is kind of moving in a sideways fashion here. It's trying to make this parabolic shape. It's trying to create this shape down. It could actually play out, so we see a move down, but it doesn't necessarily have to. So if we want to find significant levels of support down here, if we expect this move to break down, where can we expect major levels to be that will act as support? One approach is to find untested levels, and this is basically what we are going to do when we talk about first tests. We want to find untested levels where the first test is still has still not happened. So what we're going to do is we're zooming out and we're looking at price action to the left. Here you can see we do have this swing low here, this bottom structure. It's kind of an inverse head and shoulder, if you know what that is. This is what we are looking for if there's an untested level that we can analyze in order to find a potential support level that where we can expect the first test to happen. So I'm going to draw this level here. If you have watched the session on drawing levels, you know why I'm doing this like that. And as you can see, we already got a test. Price already came back to this level and it bounced off this level. So this is no good anymore. It's not the first test. We are going to look further left and take the next swing low we can find. It's actually this structure, this W-like structure. You do have two levels you can draw here. Maybe something like this. I'm gonna get rid of this W. Something like this, where you can see it divides the structure pretty well. This tiny bit over here, support over here. So this is a level, definitely. You can also take a level here. It's for those who buy the higher low and want to prevent this from making a lower low. So you buy here and put your stop loss here, for example. It has a high risk reward. If you catch along here and get stopped out here, okay, but you have vastly more upside potential. So these two levels are interesting, and we didn't see any first test yet. So we can expect these levels to be very strong support in the future. So if price would continue to do this parabolic shape to the downside, like this, for example, we can expect these levels to be very, very strong, and we do have two of them. So there is additional confidence that this region will hold at least for a bounce. It could actually reverse there. The trend could reverse to the upside, but it could also just cause a little bounce price action and then continue down. Both is possible. Now let's look at some examples of first tests to get a feeling how to draw the levels necessary to get first tests, and what price action we can expect from this kind of event. I'm looking particularly for the swing highs and lows. For example, this one, I'm going to draw this level because it was resistance here, it was support over here. Maybe it's a little bit small. Okay, now it was resistance here, it was support over here, and you can see that price actually lost the level directly afterwards and confirmed it as resistance over here, which is additional confirmation that this is the level we want to look at. And now if we zoom out again and see what happened, this is our first test, the first approach of price to this level. And here you can see how price was rejected at this level and fell back down. It was not that far, and actually did the same thing over here. As you can see, when we look at this level here, you can see it was rejected at this level and actually made a first test over here and bounced there. So you can see price action very often as a sequence of first tests. This is, if you understand this concept, it's one of the most important ones in price action and support and resistance theory. So let's continue looking for first tests. For example, this one, I could draw this one, as you can see. But we got this test over here already. This is, I would consider this to be tested because we had this test over here. If I draw this level like this, for example, a little bit more clear, we also do have these tests here, 2 candles, 2 1-hour candles testing this level from below. But I don't count these as tests because they occur directly after the break, after a price has broken this level to the downside. They got tested once, and then price continued down. This is not the test we are looking for. The first test we are looking for is in terms of time, it is a little bit off. Not directly with the next candle or next 2 candles, but maybe with a fourth, or maybe sometimes later. This is what we want to look at. So we can take this as a first test. So we don't have this reliability over here that we will see another rejection because the first test already happened over here. Let's look for other examples. So we do have this level, for example. You can see that this level was created here. Price came back, tested it. First test was successful, and it bounced higher. Very classic price action. We have this level. As you can see, confirmation of resistance. Then price didn't manage to close above this level and was rejected. So we do have a level here. And the first test was this one, and it led to this rejection. Actually got another test in here, but still got rejected. The more tests there are, the less reliable the level is. This is very important. The second test is significantly less reliable than the first one. The third one is less reliable than the second one, and so on. And in terms of statistics, when a level got tested 4 or 5 times, it is very probable that it will break. There are some levels that actually hold, even after 8 or 9 or 10 tests, but these levels are not simple levels. They are just they are basically confluence levels where a lot of different support or resistance comes together and puts pressure on price. Okay, let's keep drawing levels. This is a level. Why? Because it confirmed support over here. It was resistance over here. Price actually made some swing structure here. So we are looking at the first test. And as you can see, the first test led to a rejection. This is very, very reliable and super important to understand if you want to trade by simple levels and price action. This is absolute basic knowledge. Here you can see we have a level, we have a bounce at the first test. Let's go to a different time frame, maybe the daily time frame. So you can see it also works on higher time frames. Let's take this level, for example. As you can see, this is where the candles actually didn't manage to close above. It was confirmed as resistance over here, and it was already a level over here, as you can see with this resistance and support confirmations. So this is a level. And here you can see the result. The first test led to big, big rejection. And here is the confirmation that it gets weaker with additional tests. So we have a second test, a third test, price actually closed above. And then, of course, because of this failed breakout we had here, price didn't manage to keep this level broken, to defend it and confirm it as support. It didn't work out, so it got retested as resistance. This is a sign that the level is becoming strong resistance again. Now let's look at another level, like, for example, this one. We had this very huge support level for a long time. You can actually draw it like this. You can draw it like this. It's a region. It's not a single level. It's a region. And here in this case, you can see we had a first test over here at this level, but it led to a tiny rejection. It was caught at this support directly, and price closed above. This was an extreme sign of strength. Very important to notice this, how that bulls are jumping in here and buying this, and it's not falling back below. This is very important to understand and to notice early in order to de-risk in case you're short here or something like that. So this actually broke through on the first try. Very strong performance there. Let's look at levels over here. We do have this one, and as you can see, same reasoning. It was resistance. Price didn't manage to hold it, so it was strong resistance level. Here you can see the first test led to the rejection. Another example, maybe this is also a level. However, you can see the first test was not enough to drive price back lower. Back down. So it actually broke up with strength. There was significant strength in the market there. So the first test was not enough to, or it was not, did not manage to reject price there. If we look at this level, for example, you can see there is no rejection at all. This also happens. It is possible to see price actually ignoring resistance like this. However, if we zoom in into the chart, into the time frames, 1 hour, for example, I hope it's still on the chart. Maybe I take 4 hours or 3 hours. We might be able to spot some reaction. No, not at all. Yeah, it stopped at this level, but it went above this directly. As you can see, they actually tried to make this a failed breakout by dumping it below, but it held the level. It held the support. This was very, very strong price action over here. Okay, let's go back to our current chart on Bitcoin. Here you can see, let's take some other examples. Here's a level. Why is this a level? Because you can see it's confirmed as support, it's confirmed as resistance, it's actually confirmed as resistance over here. Price gets back, falls back below, and there is the confirmation of resistance again. So the first test is the rejection. We can do the same over here. As you can see, it's maybe not, you could draw it like this, but then you have the first test over here. If you draw it like this, you don't have a first test, and it's over here, and it's a rejection. So it makes sense again. And maybe a last one, this, or maybe more like this one. Here you can see we have a rejection over here. It works very well. It is a powerful concept, one of the most important concepts, and this is something you have to really understand. If you want to become an analyst and a good trader, you need to understand the relevance of first tests. Thank you, and on to the next session.